If you read the title of this video before clicking on it, you might be wondering what infighting in Fallout 4 is, or how do you make it happen. For this video, I'm counting infighting as any instance in which two non-companion NPCs fight each other. For this challenge, I can hit enemies and cause them to fight each other, but I can't ever kill any enemy on my own. There are several ways to make enemies fight each other. The Intimidation and Robotics Expert perk can be used to make enemies attack their allies for you. The Frenzy effect also causes NPCs to attack all nearby NPCs, allies and enemies included. This effect can be applied with the Syringer or with hallucinogen gas grenades, but it doesn't work on high-level enemies or robots. Using these methods to beat the game creates one massive problem for me. Because I need others to kill for me, I can never fully clear out an area, as sadly you can't convince enemies to kill themselves. To make this video as interesting as possible, I'm going to kill as many enemies as I can, in spite of the fact that I can't fully clear any area out. If, in the event, I find an area that I need to go through to beat the game with enemies that won't fight with each other no matter what, I will spawn in Super Mutant Suiciders to kill, as this is more interesting and funny than just running past them. As a bonus rule, I won't allow myself to wear any real armor, because wearing armor would probably just make this too easy. The run gets off to a bad start, as I accidentally didn't record my screen for the first bit of the run, making everything look like this. Thankfully, not that much of note happened before I realized this. These are my special stats. I put most of my points into Endurance for extra health, Intelligence for Robotics Expert and Chemist, and Agility for Moving Target. I got out of the vault without killing anything and went to Diamond City to buy the Syringer from Dr. Sun. I then headed back to Sanctuary to do a very important glitch. As I mentioned earlier, the Syringer and hallucinogen gas grenades are the best way to frenzy enemies, but both items are ridiculously expensive to craft. On top of this, the gas grenades require a unique crafting item that exists in a limited quantity, meaning that you can only make 9 of them before it's impossible to get more. To prevent this entire video from becoming a montage of me grinding for crafting supplies, I decided to do a duplication glitch. This glitch requires a conveyor belt from the Contraptions DLC and Dogmeat. Basically, you have to put an item in the conveyor and have Dogmeat fetch it right before it goes into the storage. If you timed it right, there will be one item in the container and another one from Dogmeat. Repeat this process a couple times, and you can have thousands of whatever item you want. I use this glitch to get an unlimited supply of Berserk syringes to frenzy people, and an almost as large supply of pack syringes to pacify enemies. There are a couple of tricks I'll need to pacify enemies for to beat the game later in the run, and in most cases I can't finish off the last enemy in an area, so this is a great way of dealing with them. After I crafted these, I headed for hallucinogen to get the gas grenades. The enemies here are already frenzied due to the gas leak, so I can't really do anything and just walk past them. Though I do mess around with the test chambers.
Please step up to the windows for a demonstration of our products in development. Invisawave from Hallucinogen is a new advance in the field of stealth technology, capable of doing away with
Bugs. Can't breathe.
Please, evacuate the building.
Hey there.
Here, kitty.
I grab the gas grenade parts, run out of the building, and repeat the glitch to get over 1,000 gas grenades. I test out the grenades on a group of cultists, and then head back to Diamond City to procure some drugs.
I thought I saw something. Say goodbye.
I already start running into issues. For this quest, Trish is unkillable until you talk to her. To kill her, I had to pacify the last Triggerman, aggro Trish, and then aggro the Triggerman again, who then promptly killed her. I then pacified him and grabbed all the drugs. The guy I just forced to go on an unconsensual drug-filled rampage that ended up killing all of his co-workers doesn't seem to mind that much.
Hey, get out of here.
These drugs will help a lot. Psycho Buff will give me extra health, allowing me to take more hits whenever I can't fight back, and Jet will help with running away and pulling off some tricks later. I grabbed the Intelligence, Endurance, Agility, and Luck bobbleheads to get some perks later. The Norwegian people on the boat with the Agility bobblehead were too high level for me to frenzy them, but the rest of the areas went as expected.
There we go. Bingo.
I attempt to do the first Minuteman quest for some XP. I spend a lot of time finagling around trying to get the raiders to kill each other, only to realize I can't actually complete the quest because Preston is too busy minuting his man to actually kill the last raider.
I'm Jaking.
This means that I can't side with the Minutemen this time, so I'll have to find another faction. After that failure, I started the Triggerman quest. It wasn't that difficult. The hardest part was actually waiting for Nick to do anything. I thought Dino would be a problem, but I managed to pacify him and get the password for Nick without killing him. He died later anyway.
You have any idea how much this is gonna set me back?
So much for getting along. Think he's lighter or heavier with all those holes in him? The bullets probably add a few ounces. All the old. Hi. Let's get out of here. Come move.
I then headed to Fort Hagen to take on Kellogg. Upon arrival, I attempted to use the Syringer on a synth, but it doesn't work. I could just run past all of them, but instead I honored the Super Mutant Suicider rule and blew them all up. Evading the Suiciders was easier than I expected. I hope this video doesn't get demonetized because I used the word suicide.
Time to die!
Now, as most of you know, to complete this quest, Kellogg has to die. But I can't aggro any of the synths onto Kellogg, so what will I do? Surprisingly, Kellogg himself, and most other important characters, can actually be frenzied, so all I had to do was get Kellogg to fight his own synths. The 2 synths he had with him weren't enough to do the job, so I had to lead the other synths into the room.
Initiate directive Sigma Omicron. Protect. Catalog. Close quarters combat. Catalog. Facility infiltrated. Termination required. Shutting down. I must end your existence.
To actually read the terminal, I had to hide in a bathroom and sneak back with a stealth boy. The next step, after the 20-minute long glorified cutscene that is the memory den, is to venture into the glowing sea. I more or less just ignored all the enemies on the way and got through it without any issues. Next was green tech genetics. The gunners were a bit more of a challenge than any previous enemies, but I still managed to get past them. Now came the tricky part, the Courser. Now, in most challenge runs, and playthroughs of Fallout 4 in general, this guy is a complete fucking joke. But here, he has a major problem because he's alone with no one around to aggro onto him. I tried to frenzy the synth and surrounding gunners, but they wouldn't actually fight back against him. Before anyone comments about the code Mama Murphy gives you to disable the Courser, I couldn't get it because the first Minuteman quest was impossible. To kill the Courser, I had to bring in an enemy that could kill him. I went downstairs, pacified a gunner, stole his gun, aggroed onto him to lure him into the elevator and towards the Courser, pacified him again, gave him a mini nuke and a fat man, frenzied him, and got him to launch the fat man at the Courser. This took many attempts because there was only a 2% chance of putting the fat man in the gunner's inventory, and because he would miss 90% of the shots. With the chip now in hand, I now have to build the teleporter. I first tried to do it with the Brotherhood, but the quest where you have to clear out Fort Strong had a behemoth that I couldn't get the other mutants to kill. So unfortunately, I had to side with the Railroad. Does anyone watching ever actually side with the Railroad in normal playthroughs? Anyways, to get the Railroad to build the teleporter, I have to do the Switchboard quest first. This quest is problematic because all the enemies are synths, which I can't frenzy. But I also can't do the Super Mutant Suicider thing again, because technically Deacon could kill all of them. The problem was that Deacon is a dogshit fighter and was taking a millennia to clear out the synths. To prevent me from dying of old age before I finish the video, I decided to get the Overseer's Guardian and give it to Deacon. I hope that with a much better weapon, he would be less ass. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough caps for it at this point, so I had to run over to Far Harbor to complete the Hull Breach quest, which can net you over 3,000 caps. I intentionally fed an innocent man to Ghoul so I can steal his money, completed the quest, and gave the gun to Deacon. Thankfully, my prediction was correct, and Deacon successfully cleared out the switchboard with me just kind of doing nothing the whole time. After this, I built the teleporter and entered the Institute. I decided to side with the Institute this time around because it meant that I wouldn't have to fight synths, which aren't affected by the Syringer. Next up is the Libertalia quest. Most of the raiders here are too high level for me to frenzy them, so I just run past and wrap up the quest quickly.
First mistake.
After that is the battle for Bunker Hill. I try my best to frenzy people, but most of them are too high level, and I have to just run past again, sadly. The next quest is Mass Fusion. I took the Overseer's Guardian back from Deacon and gave it to Ellie to make things go faster. I was worried about how the section at the bottom with the robots would go, but the robotics expert perk trivialized it. Also, me self-destructing the robots doesn't count because they are killing themselves. There's no legal punishment for bullying people until they kill themselves, so because of that, this doesn't count as murder.
Eliminated, sir.
I now have to clear out the railroad. This creates an issue. If an important NPC gets killed by another NPC, they won't actually die. Instead, they'll just fall to the ground like they're in COD Zombies. The only way for them to die and the quest to progress is for me to finish them off. For the sake of this run, I'm not going to count this as me killing them. If you disagree, then dislike the video. If it hits 100 dislikes, I'm gonna bomb Oklahoma City. The railroad members couldn't take out Glory, so I stole her minigun and gave Tinker Tom a plasma rifle to even the playing field. Eventually, I got it down to just Tom and one other guy. But the game started bugging out, and neither of them would aggro onto each other. So to solve the problem, I used some super mutant suiciders. After I cleared out Old North Church, I noticed that the quest wasn't over yet. The reason was that I had sent Deacon to Red Rocket, and he never came back. I went over there and aggroed him onto Codsworth and Dogmeat. This doesn't count because they weren't my companions at the time, and the game doesn't count the kills that companions get when they aren't following you. After that, it was time for the final quest, the attack on the Brotherhood. Many of the Brotherhood soldiers were too high level for me to frenzy them. For the ones that were too high level, I would just pacify them to make them leave the synth alone. I even forced one of them out of their power armor, so that it could act as a shield. And that's it. This run had some technically interesting parts like Fort Hagen and Green Tech, but most of it was pretty basic and easy. I would not recommend that anyone else do this, as the gimmick of watching people fight each other gets old eventually. Not being able to fight back or frenzy a lot of enemies makes this playstyle not really that fun. Like and subscribe or I'll recreate this video in real life in a special education class.